What's poppin'? It's Kairos. You're entering Kairos round. In this present moment in time, we'll be talking about Capricorn, the devil, and describing why it resonates with some of that spell, wordings, and conception itself. Why people even call Capricorn the devil. Now, let's talk about the basics of the Capricorn energy that people are aware of. You got blueprinting. You got planning. You know, Capricorns are often, because they're cardinal signs and it's an earth sign, they initiate practicality in life. So they could be the type of beings that play out being your boss or that person that directs you on what to do in your working field of life or your job, so to say. Now that's just Capricorn from like the looking at it and like a plain perspective itself, right? Capricorns be blueprinting shit. They be planning and putting things together. Now, when you talk about the energy of the devil, you talking about this. I'm trying to watch my words. You're talking about this being that's seen as all of the evils of reality itself, and it's the overseer of such a thing. That's why you got D, and then you got evils. You know, like not just evils, but evil when you're just talking about devil. And the representations of that energy is just this so. You know, to where you always see this when you're talking about the character of the devil, you see them as being like um, the one that keeps the order of the naturalities of life going on. They're the enforcer of such things, you know, and it's oftentimes described as a being that is beyond you, you know. Now, there's other descriptions and variations and ways to relate to just the conception of the devil, or even like how you call like the devil a liar. You know how people oftentimes be like, well, that's the devil, and when they're saying such things, they're talking about the energy of a person lying to them or them getting lost in the falsehood of reality. Since Capricorns play out the blueprint, that energy and whatnot in life, they also play out the energy of the devil as they can be beings, and everybody got Capricorn type of energy, but it's an energy to where it's like you can falsify yourself. You got a plan of how you want to be expressed to another. You got a certain way you want to be perceived in life. And when you work on that view consistently and try to uphold it with different aspects of your being and who you are, you use your ability to make this thing look like what it is. That's you being the devil, you know, and that's like the expression for it in life. Now, it's just something you do participating with the common sense of the world, you know. Otherwise, when you're talking about the devil, you would just be talking about your vessel, and the naturalities of your body and living with the flesh, you know what I'm saying, and the desires and urges that come from it. You would be breaking down those type of things, more of just the explanations of what the desire body is. That's all you're talking about when you're talking about the devil, and that's Capricornic energy. What the body of energy of things you desire is Capricorn type of shit. Wanting to go get something or wanting to improve in some type of area. And Capricorn is just like putting the pieces to actually go out and do such things. You know. It's different variations of that Capricornic energy and whatnot itself, but that's why it plays out as the devil. And there's different type of devils, but Capricorn is always like that overall, whatever you're trying to uphold in life and whatnot itself. You always get that from another. And Capricorns be them type of beings to where it's like they are consistently working on their identity, and their identity is relating around their status of who they are. So they're consistently trying to portray a certain status to reality. That energy of always trying to be a status or something is devilish. You have to be devilish when you're trying to represent a certain status, even if it's a status that's not necessarily just lost in its fleshly reality. It could be a higher and lighter status of existence. Even if you was trying to represent yourself as an angel consistently, that's still being devilish in some ways. Just for people to know that you're an angel, you gotta do devilish type of shit. I gotta show you my abilities of why I'm angelic in the first place, so you take and perceive me and reciprocate who I am in that type of likeness of life. you know, and that's like your Capricornic energy, yourself. It's like calm in the mountain and shit like that. It's almost like you're proving like yourself to reality. You know what I'm saying? You trying to get to the top of the hill. It's showing that you can overcome everything in existence. So whoever you whatever type of plan or whatnot or blueprint you trying to come out with, and you yourself are a blueprint. That's what astrology is kind of breaking down. You are a whole bunch of different stars and bodies and chakras and energies all put together, moving out of character on a day-to-day basis. You know, and that Capricornic energy is like the care for that character itself. For like your own persona, for your own version of who you are in existence, rather than getting lost in the totalities of everybody else. Who am I within this? You know, that's like a lot of Capricornic and devilish type of energy itself. You know, and that's the real expression for it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I know like I'm a whole bunch of different stuff. So I'm trying to properly represent what I am. I'm trying to make the blueprint of all the different shit of what I am be represented in reality correctly. You know. So like a Capricornic energy, like the ways we go about mastering such things is knowing the proper blueprints. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like alchemy or like a scientist type shit. Knowing the right elements to truly get your expression, get people to know who you are for like just the truth of your being. I know how to resonate it with people in a correct manner. So where it's like you just I don't get lost in like a certain aspect of my existence. You know, like my ego is super big, so I express that a lot and my forms of communications. So you may not really get what I'm saying because there's so much ego there. All right, me mastering my energy, I know. Well, I have to tone down my ego. I can't make that temperament as hot. I know how to correctly express myself so a person don't think I'm expressing myself just to express myself on some Leo shit. Like I'm talking to be liked or something. I have to figure out so on. So that's just me on some personal shit. But that's just an example of mastering that Capricornic energy and knowing that like the Capricornic energy is like me knowing that I'm the devil in my life in reality. That's like the devil energy itself. Me knowing that I'm the person who has to master my existence. Ain't nobody else gonna do this for me. Living with that type of sense, that's a lot of Capricorn energy. You know what I'm saying? It's like your devilish side. The side of you like, hey, I don't know about faith and somebody coming to help put the pieces of my reality together for me, because that's the shit I do. you know. But at the same time, like that energy, especially when you carry a lot of it, you don't want to get lost and like always looking at life like you the person that's supposed to be putting shit together. You know, like Capricorns be on a journey of like that's why Aquarius be like the next thing, because Capricorns be on that journey of really learning that Like there's elements of reality that's beyond the flesh. Once you get to like them Capricornistic type of points and whatnot in your chart and just within your evolution, that next totem pole is Aquarius, to where you really start in the sense of like, alright, there's some shit beyond just um the basic way, or like we may have like a code or structure of shit of how shit naturally operates, or a system that goes on in our life and reality here. Like we got a certain formation of magic, right? But that's just our solar system. It's hella different other solar systems and other places and other systems of shit that can interact with ours and coexist and make something else. So it'd be miraculous events happening and things we don't be aware of because you're not necessarily in acknowledgments of all of existence. You're still in the darkness a little bit. You don't know everything. You're still in the shadow. You know what I'm saying? And going through that in Capricornic energies, you get to know that I don't know fucking everything. No matter how precise and perfect I can put shit together, there's some shit you don't know. It's always going to be a new aspect of reality happening with me being alive and being anew. So you get to figuring out, you know what I'm saying, some alien shit. You get to having faith in some shit. Like everybody don't believe in karma. You know what I'm saying? As a Capricorn, and eventually as you evolve and you start believing in certain shit like that. You know what I'm saying? To where it's like, oh, I know karma real. You don't think karma real, but I think karma real. I think karma relates to all of exist. And there's other shit like that. To where it's like you start getting alien with your own sense of self. Like some people, a lot of Capricorns are going a pathway of life to where it's like everything is business. I don't care what you say, business relates to all different aspects of reality. So how I'm evolving, that alien part of me, what I'm really making like my individuality is all based around business itself. Some Capricorns take that route. But when you take that, they got shit to go with it, because then you just deal with like Aquarian type of problems. You know, being alone and you wondering why you always alone, and all these senses you got in life and your ideas and whatnot on you see everything like business. If everything is business in your life and reality, then you're not gonna get nothing that's outside of business. And business is dry. Business ain't that don't that's just talking about the naturalities of life. That's just something like love or something like that. Love don't necessarily go hand in hand with business. It can be there, but love is a different aspect of life. That's something you got to work on too. But you can't work on love how you work on business. You got to learn something else. You got to, and that's that Pisces shit. You get to learn how to be mutable with all these different perceptions of existence. You know what I'm saying? As they relate to your reality and your world, your realm itself. You know, then you jump back into shit after you start getting comfortable with like, alright, life is, when you start understanding the universe and shit. We all just playing a part of shit, and we living here together type shit. Even though I got my own space, alright, now I really wanna just be me. Then that's when you hop into your Aries self. And that's like I only talked about like a three. I was a three, yeah, 11, 12, and then a one. Because that's like the type of journeys that you go through, actually experiencing the devil energy in your life and reality. So you may experience shit like that just that's meant to, it's like a natural zone or energy of existence you got to pass through as you grow. You know what I'm saying? Like it's related to the seasons and all that good shit. So you probably gonna have to experience some shit like that, you know, in your life, and just go through them type of realizations. So yeah, it's Capricorn, the devil. And that's the only reason it's really like, I'm X and I ain't really come with all the fantasism and talking about all that other shit. Like that's all it's really represented in life, from a logistical type of point of view, not how you emotionally feel about it. You know what I'm saying? Not how you want to dream of what's possible or what this type of entity or being is capable of. We're just talking about the energy that the entity is carrying, why the entity is the entity in the first place. rather than thinking about what the entity is gonna do or something like that, or how the entity is living and all that. Like, people get lost into that shit and just talking about the idea of the devil. So when you jump into that energy, a lot of times, even Capricorns themselves, because of how other people will talk about it, they get to looking at that shit like, just because I'm a being who's taking I got shit that I personally take serious in life and reality. That mean I gotta be like a cold, dark, and dry person. That's how I gotta communicate and be with others. Just because I'm this type of person, I'm this type of person, or this type of that, I gotta do this type of shit in reality, because that's the type of shit that these type of people do. Like, that's Capricorn shit. Like they live like that. you know, and that's not necessarily how you're supposed to live. You're just supposed to be who you are, but they get lost into trying to be something specific. And especially when you're describing the devil, it's like, oh, they get to tripping and being anxious and always got problems, and I got to be able to control and be masterful in every aspect of my life. And if I don't come across like that, and if it ain't like that in life, if people ain't taking me like that, if I ain't thinking people taking me like that, if I ain't getting them type of expressions brought to me, then I ain't right. Something ain't right in life and reality. And that's a devil type of consciousness. That's a devil type of being. You know what I'm saying? To where it's like you always putting yourself in a state of being or a presence of reality, to where you will yourself to always be mad over not controlling something. You know, you that motherfuckers just naturally be mad about some shit that they not supposed to be tripping about. You know, they just control problems. That's all it be, because they want to look a certain way. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how to just like be and deal with life. Like, I got Capricorn energies and whatnot myself, but I get saved from a lot of that because my moon is in Pisces. So it's like, all the shit that I would do that like just get me too lost in like, I know how to do Capricorn shit, and then I could do some Capricorn shit, then I throw a whole ocean on that bitch fucking with my Pisces energy. I know, cause I'm a little colder. I'm a dope spirit. I go deep. All these different energies and shit I carry. Stop playing with me. I don't just get lost in it once. Just because my sun sign on my solar plexus is a Capricorn, I'm not finna be looking at myself like I'm just a Capricorn. Like, I never even looked at astrology like that when it was expressed to me ever. I was always like, okay, so that's my sun sign is, like a Capricorn. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I'm just saying, like, even like, I'm naturally gonna do shit to save myself from crashing out of my Capricornistic energy, because my Mercury in Capricorn too conjunct my Sun and shit. You know, so I think like a Capricorn as well. And like, I could crash if my Capricorn energy fucked up. I could crash out in life, because that plays a lot of like just my drive of existence. It's almost like my car. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta make sure my car is good and okay. And oftentimes I take that Pisces mutable energy, like checking in and stuff on it, making sure everything flowing and operating right how I do. I throw in some splash. I'm a life path 6. Throw in some splash or some Virgo shit and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I look at the details to make sure like the Capricornic energy that I'm carrying in life, it isn't one of lostness. So if the Capricorn energy is something that's represented as the devil, that's just like is then that's like a denseness in life that I'm knowing that is like real in my reality in some way. Since that's a denseness that I'm always like consciously carrying, like it's something real, let me make that light itself. So whatever like I would naturally be devilish in, I work on making that lighter. And I feel like that's part of like the journey of ascension itself. Making that devil light. Right, rather than that devil like just being darkness, or whatever you come here and you come here every day for, like you can make it lighter in some type of nature, you know. And that's like a continuous journey. You know what I'm saying? Because there'd be a whole bunch of different ways in which you can make things lighter, rather than like you getting lost in like controlling or, like getting lost in the elements of existence that's here already. You know, you want to be more of like the change or like the impact itself. So yeah, that's Capricorn, the devil.